All right, check this out. You guys are back on the Hater World and on Blue Devil. For those that don't know, last week we did an episode of reading comments, and these are the comments that are in the health section. YouTube allows comments to come through, but when you have certain keywords or bad words or hate speech, it puts it in a section where I have to go in there and manually approve all the comments. I will not lie to you. Over 10,000 comments come in. It is too many for me to go in there and read everything and accept everything. Now, I will tell you, I get a lot of comments of people saying that, oh, you delete my comments. Blue Devil, you're scared. Why are you deleting comments? I don't delete anything. There is keywords that YouTube catches onto and they delete. Even when you try to switch up the word, like say a bad word, you try to like add, say you're trying to spell H-O-E, but the O, you add a zero instead of a O, it knows that you're doing that. Or a hashtag, it knows what you're doing. So therefore, it gets put in a section that's titled held. I have to go in there and manually accept them. Now look, this segment drops every Sunday, okay? Every Sunday. So just know that every Sunday there's gonna be an episode. This is episode number 2. Now look, I came up with the perfect segment title. Seek help, all right? This is the seek help segment because we get a lot of sick people in the chat and in the comments. We get a lot of dudes that think they're gangbangers. We get a lot of dudes that think they're, you know, we get a lot of dudes that think they're like I don't know. I don't even know what to call it. But all I can say is seek help. Seek help. You're on the YouTube comment section acting like you're that guy. Seek help. All right. So with that being said, let's get into this. Let's get into these comments. What I will do is you will see the comment pop up here somewhere, so you'll know exactly who wrote it and that I'm not making it up. All right, salute to everybody, salute to the squad. If you're a new watcher here on the Hater World, make sure you leave a comment down below. Let me know if you like this segment. Let me know what you want to see. All right, I'll rock with everybody. Don't be a recurring watcher. Log in, subscribe, and log out. All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and read some of these comments. All right, here we go. I'm gonna tell you what video they're from, who wrote it, and what it says. Let's go with the first one. Username, do yo stuff. All right, and it is a video of the life story of Trap Boy X6. The comment reads, Blue Devil treating this little paisa how Wack treated him. LMAO. First of all, let me say this. Trap Boy been to federal prison for like 6 years, right? He not little. Second of all, he's a certified paisa, right? And third of all, why is wax in your mouth? Whether you like me or not, to continuously talk about another man like that must mean only one thing. He's your daddy. Seek help. Let's go. Comment number 2 comes from Reckless/HPG. The video, it is youngster disses the entire Hater World and the squad responds. Comment reads, that little kid will give Blue Ranker the business, but he gon' hide behind Royal TITS. First of all, salute to Royal T. He is a true pioneer and a true legend when it comes to this music industry. Made millions of dollars, put a lot of homies on, and really put San Diego on the map. All right. Now, as far as Reckless talking about the little kid will put me on my ass, he's talking about Tommy guns. Now, from what I know, the day that Demon came up here, we squashed the issue, right? At least from our perspective, Opina, Blue Devil, and Droops, right? So therefore, I'm not gonna speak on Tommy guns for the simple fact that you ain't gonna trick me out of disrespecting that youngster, all right? If we spoke already and handled it on the streets, you are nobody. Now, if you think you are somebody, you can always run up or shut up. Other than that, seek help. All right, let's go with hitting the Pookie at 12. Imagine that. That's the video. The Username is Fresno County Cartel. Blue Leva calling someone a dirtbag. The irony. What can I say? Seek help. Here we go. The video is titled Fried Rice Combo Extra Spicy. That's a little short video I did of Trap Boy having lunch. We're having fun. Trap Boy the homie, right? Username 211EM says, obsessed with prison culture, but is scared to go behind them walls. Stop it. Bleep, bleep. Un homie joto te coge in his cell. Now, this guy has been sniffing my ass since I came on this YouTube scene. He's been in all my comments, all my videos. He's been on other podcasters' videos. He talks about us everywhere he goes. He is basically obsessed. Now, in that video, I tell Trap Boy, what would happen if you eat with your mouth open in prison? Why did I ask him that? Well, I asked him that because he's been in prison. So I'm asking him about his background, not mine. Now, I know that you're not gonna understand that because you're looking for a reason to blame me for you not feeling like a man. Well, all I can tell you is this. You're a cheerleader, you're a groupie, and the best advice I can give you is seek help. All right, here we go. Jaime de la Cruz 2093 says, pink cause you're a lame. I'm wearing a pink sweater in the video. And I'm lame cause I'm wearing pink. Look, young man, I'm a grown adult with a business, with a nice vehicle, with a nice place to live, with a nice studio. I do the best that I can to help all the homies around me. If I wear pink, blue, purple, yellow, is what I decide to do. And the same way that I didn't listen to the police when I was young or to my mama, it's the same way where I don't give a what you got to say. So please understand for 1 second that nothing you say means anything at the Hater World. So all I can say is continue the typing and seek help. All right, here we go. There's a video I did on Snoopy BA telling again or just his nature. Mr. Criminal and Marvelous Minds lost their mind. All right, that's the video. Now, the username is Simply Marvelous 4983 says, BD is right. You cooperate with law enforcement, you're a snitch, a rat. All that doesn't matter if there's black and white helping the authorities. It's all the same. It's all the same. But wouldn't you agree that when someone calls you a bitch and disrespects you as a man, your barrio, that you would be now looked at as a bitch, a punk and a coward, isn't the same thing as calling someone a rat and saying there's no excuses? Enlighten me, por favor. Okay, so what he's saying is this. Because Wack 100 yelled at a computer and dissed my hood and called me a bitch, that because he did that I'm marked out and that I'm lame and all this crazy shit. Well, check this out. Simply Marvelous 4983. You your mama, your dad, your grandma. Do something about it, and your whole fuck. I marked you out. Use a. Now show me that you're any different from me. All right. Now go ahead and say that. Oh, it's behind the computer. Go ahead. Give me that excuse. I mean, should you punch me through the IP address? What should you do? Now, I'm getting very tired of bringing this up. Very, very tired. All right? What I said to that man or didn't say to that man over a screen means nothing. Okay? You know why? Because there's no intimidation over the computer. Now, if you get intimidated and that scares you, Well, that's on you, but that's not on me. We had somebody here in person, had an entire show, 3 hours in person. Somebody had 3 hours to handle business, and they didn't. What they wanted to do was create an act. They wanted to create a show the next day. Why didn't they try that here? Now you can give me 100 excuses about, well, he didn't know, well, this, well, that. Well, if he didn't know, why did he roll with 50 goons? Because that was the plan. But the 5 Southsiders that were here were not gonna have it. Or the 5 Sureños that were here were not gonna have it. So what do? They create a whole show the next day. But I wasn't going for it. Now it fooled you. It fooled you, and it fooled everybody else that don't like me. But did it fool all the real ones that know what time it is? Of course not, because I still see them every day. Now, if they felt like I did something wrong, then they wouldn't kick it with me, talk to me, see me, do any type of business with me. So with that being said, seek help. All right, here we go. Now, this is username DaddyB7440 says, that's right, homie, right back in the hood the next day. The next day, don't hang if you can't gangbang. Much love, respect, little homie. He's talking about the youngster from Norwalk that got hit up. You know, salute to that homie, and salute to the commentator. All right, number love and number respect, my boy. All right. Now here we go. Namek speaks on his rap career growing up in the SGV, a podcast I did with Namek. Salute to Namek, real hip hop junkie. All right, here we go. Username giving/spirit. It says, Blue Devil, ZOD, you never gave us your real name. Laughing out loud. When push comes to shove, SOD, normal people out here outnumber the real G's. DUBS is doing 25K in views. I think it's the serenity, the understanding that there's an audience and the need unconditional love from older G. Zod is an audience more than just views. It takes to be accepted back into your community. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Zod is not even in that video, wasn't mentioned in that video, so maybe you commented on the wrong video. But look, let me explain something to you. Don't believe the numbers you see on YouTube. People keep telling me about these dropout pages doing all these great numbers. I don't care. You know why I don't care? I'll tell you why. None of them fools have a plaque. The guy from up north that claims to have all these subscribers don't have a plaque. Why he don't have a plaque? I'll tell you why. Because YouTube knows it's fake and doesn't give you a plaque. Why wouldn't YouTube give you a plaque? Because they caught you doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing, buying views and likes. Look, whether I get 100 views or 100,000 views, I'm building on my own. I have not done a podcast on nobody's page. I have not went out to get anybody to help me get more views. The people you're talking about, they click up and team up to build a team, to help each other, to grow. That's cool. That's their formula. My formula is I'm getting to 100,000 by myself. Number 2, I'm in a big space that belongs to me. We have gangster parties here all the time. Legally. I could do whatever I want. Then I still go home. I don't work where I sleep or sleep where I work. You know, unless a baddie comes over and, you know, I pipe her down over there, and then, you know, I don't want to drive home or whatever, right? But the people you're talking about are sitting in their basement or their closets. They've converted their bedroom into their workspace because they got no choice. Now, tell them to move the camera slightly to the left, you'll see their janky ass bed. So don't compare us. Don't compare us. I take my craft seriously, and I got a building, so I wouldn't have to take nobody to my home. So if you don't want to give me that respect, it's cool. I'll give it to myself, because I know not everybody can do what we do here at the Hater World. So if you don't respect it, the door's right there, And with that being said, seek help. All right, here we go. The video is Trap Boy Life Story. Mikey Jr. González 2777 says, saludos y respetos. Soy Big Mike de Calesia, lado de la garra. This dude interviewing the homie from Calesia is a piece of shit. The question he's asking and asking for details on every answered question, making the homie sound stupid and calling him a dirtbag. What drug you started off using? All I can say is learn how to do interviews and respect the person and do your research on the area the homies are from, con respeto. Well, you should do your research on me. You should do your research on me because in the city you claim to be from, you must not be from there if you don't know me, all right? And number two, Trap Boy my homeboy, and that's how we get down. Now, if the way that I am is too much for you, dispensa, right? But if you're a weak individual, well, that's on you. I clown around with my homies and they clown around with me. Not all of them. Some of them do, some of them don't. Don't worry about how I speak to my homie. Worry about how you speak to yours. See, that's the problem. If you feel you got better interview skills, then show me. And if not, shut your mouth, sit on the sidelines, and watch the show. It's that simple. Now, if I call him a dirtbag, what do you want me to call him? A princess? You smoke meth. Oh, good job, sir. Now shut the up, bitch. Don't worry about what how I talk to my people. See, you're the type of individual, homie, where somebody will do some up shit and you want to be praised for it. You want to be put on the pedestal. If you're a dirtbag, you're a dirtbag. Punto final. Now, right now, you sound like a crybaby. How about you stop being a crybaby and just enjoy the show? Now, if you want some politically correct type of podcast, go watch Disneyland. Go watch Disneyland. Go watch The Lion King. Pinche vato llorón. Now I know. Now it makes sense. You're from where? Yeah. Llorón? Yeah. Let's go. Next comment. Here we go. Neo Tazar speaks about growing up being a black Southsider. All right, this is the video. Now the commentator is Wizard Path IF50Q. Lame AF and a traitor to his own people. How can a black man even feel comfortable being a sureño? Salute to Neo Tazar. That's the homie right there. I don't know him like that, but when I met him, firme vato, gave us a good podcast, very open-minded. And even after he left here, people wanted to turn him against us by telling him that we're this and we're that, and the homie didn't go for it, all right? So salute to him, that's very commendable. Now look, being a sureño has nothing to do with your ethnicity or your race. Now, if you're not a sureño, then you have no say in commenting that. Now, if you are a sureño, then you should know better, because when you go to jail, when you go to prison, when you visit these neighborhoods, you know that there is white sureños, Pakistanis, black sureños, and the list goes on. So either you're not from this culture, or you're one of them dudes that just thinks that being a sureño is 100% Mexican. Regardless, I'm gonna tell you that I believe you're not one. So shut your mouth, seek help. Here we go. Chino the P speaks on getting checked 5 times. The username is Mr. Old School 5951. I'm a new subscriber. Chingón vato, firme broadcast. Salute my boy. Salute to Mr. Old School 5951. I appreciate you being here. Welcome to the squad. That's what we call our solid day ones. So I'm gonna welcome you to the squad. Appreciate your presence. A comment, a like would be very appreciative. All right, I would be very appreciative of your comment and your like. All right. The next comment is Davi, Davi. He's a member. But he says, BD trying to play DPs, because he got one coming for letting Wack disrespect him in his barrio. I'm trying to downplay DPs. For those that don't know, a DP is a chequeada, a calentada. When you do something you're not supposed to do and the homies line you up, it might be a 3-on-1, it might be a 2-on-1, it might be 1-on-1. You might not be able to fight back, you might be able to fight back. They're all different. A DP is nothing honorable in a DP. All right, a DP basically tells me that you did something wrong. Okay, la cagaste. Now, there is times where you might catch a DP for a jealous hater, a homie that don't like you, a homie stirring up fake news, or you could have did something small. Understandable. But when you get 5 or 10, there's a problem. So for you to say that I'm downplaying them because I got one coming, well, let me tell you something. I've never had one. Ever. And never got one. Never had one spoken about. Okay? And even when that situation happened of the man's chorizo you got in your mouth, my hood didn't say nothing, and even the people that are on top of them didn't say nothing. So if they didn't, what makes you think that anything you say matters? Seek help. All right, here we go. Here's another chorizo gobbler. All right, another chorizo gobbler. Okay, here goes his name. Smoke Dog 420. Blue Devil ain't got no credibility after getting marked out by 3-finger Wack. See, this is what I don't get. You wanted me to yell and scream, right? Why? Southsiders don't get down like that. Okay, so look. Obviously, we can't punch the screen, right? Obviously, we can't the screen, right? So the only thing left for me to do is yell, right? F you too, F your mama, F your hood. All right. Southsiders, Sureños don't get down like that. We're not loud. We don't bark. We handle business. And if I had you in my building the day before and it was all smiles and respect on both ends, why would I bark or woof online? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Now look, first of all, arguing with another race and your own are two different things. So arguing with a black online, right? Yelling at the screen with a black online is something I'm never gonna do. Ever, right? And put it to you like this, even if I would've got up and pull out the cuete and what up, fool, right? You know the shit that people would've said? Blue Devil crashing out, Blue Devil starting a race riot. Man, shut the up. Shut the up. Why don't you say, hey, Blue Devil had him in his building, so obviously that fool ain't scared, because if he was scared, that fool would have never had him there. Because in person, shit, you could die. But they'll never say that because they don't want to see me win. They don't want to see me win, but they'll go support Blue that got slapped, spit on, spanked, beat, dragged. Oh, they'll go support that. Oh, that's real. And I don't like to throw nobody under the bus or try to like make me look better over anybody else, but those are the facts. Go support that. For you, that's the realest shit ever. Or what else is real? The mugroso that runs his mouth but knows exactly where I'm at all given times, watches my lives for 4 hours long and doesn't pull up, that's gangster to you? Man, listen, dog, the world is a fucked up place. Seek help. Here we go. Manny Hub City 4738, right? On the Chino the P Chequeada says, man, I was catching fades with all the lame asses. Homies that was acting tough. First thing they say is, I don't want to get boo-bopped. Scary motherfuckers. Run that shit. Now, if you're getting DPs for being a J-Cat, then that's different. Very true, very true. And you know what? I didn't say that. Well, I think I did. Basically, what he's saying is this. If you're outside and you're active and you're out there handling business and you're getting a check-in because you're a little too rowdy, fuck, I'd take all the check-ins. But if you're a J-Cat and you're getting checked for that, that's a different story. That's what he's saying. Salute to Manny Hub City 4738. Salute, my boy. All right, this is the last one I'm gonna read about Wack. I'm not reading these no more, dog, because these retards that are already talking about this dude, they're gobbling that man's chorizo, right? And you will never change their mind. So this is the last one that I'm ever gonna read. The username is BayBoyGJ2LQ. You know what I've noticed? A lot of these fools talking shit are norteños or from up north. So what do I expect from that? Blue Torta didn't have that energy when Uncle Wack 100 was sitting there saying all Southsiders can rat on blacks. All right, check this out. We had a debate. You must have never seen one. You have blacks on one side, homies on the other side. And we were debating the whole podcast, right? And when that came up, if you watch the video, I announced it to him, hey, we can't tell on black, that's a fake narrative. Now that vato kept going that we could, even though we argued. And since we didn't agree, Loose Cannon at the end said, hey, you know what, I'm gonna hold you to that. Appreciate that, and we move on. Two set of people having a discussion and moving on. The same way that you guys think they dissed us, we also said, hey, you working with 6ix9ine, so if he's a rat, you a rat. But you guys don't see it that way. And that's why I said, you're selective picking what you think is gonna make us look bad. Okay, we had a debate, we were chopping it up, and it's over. You fools are in love with that vato, all right? Now, in person, it was all good. So we're not gonna continue with that, though. There's a lot of them. I believe so-and-so called you a mark. Wack called you a mark. And what the fuck does... Okay, let's close this, because we're gonna kill it right here. What does someone calling me a name have to do with who you really are? Look, dog. Look, youngster. When you live the life like mine, right? Like what I've done, what I've done, right? When you've been shot in the neck, in the back, in the leg, when you've been stabbed, when you've been fucking stabbed in the head, when you've taken penitentiary chances, when you've been busted and have an FBI number, right? When you've been through situations that literally could have ended you in the grave or in prison for life, someone calling you a name doesn't do nothing for you, because the same way that those things were being done to me, because I was a trophy, is the same way that I was doing those things to them. So therefore, you think someone calling me a mark puts any type of fear into my body? Now, if you want to know a little bit more about me, go to the YouTube username, The World As We Know It. Go over to his YouTube page And that's where you can watch a little bit more about my story. Now, people try to say that I paid that man. Whether I paid him or not, the black and white is there. And that's one thing you cannot deny. So with that being said, when someone calls you a mark or a ranker, it holds no weight unless it comes with action. If they call you these names and then they continue it with the action, all right, you is a mark. But if there's no action, all there is talk, that's what we call wolf tickets. So with that being said, seek help. And that concludes the episode of Seek Help segment, podcast, whatever. Salute to the squad, salute to everybody. Comment down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And that's it. Catch you guys in the next one. Until next time, we out.